Hello world, it is Wednesday, December 8th, 2021, and looking out the window, it's kind of an overcast day this morning and cool. Not as cold as yesterday. It was 25 degrees C, or 25 degrees C, 25 degrees Fahrenheit when I went running this morning. So chilly, but I believe Saturday is supposed to be 65 degrees, which is unusual and weird for December. The devotion for today is entitled Watch Out by Kaji Dosha. Kaji bases the devotion upon Acts chapter 2, verse 40, New International Version. With many other words, Peter warned them, and he pleaded with them, "Save yourselves from this corrupt generation." And Kaji writes, in Season 3 of the Coen Brothers series Fargo, the chief villain says, "The problem is not that there is evil in the world. The problem is that there is good. Because otherwise, who would care? Evil is happy when good keeps its distance. That goodness exists and is inconvenient to evil, which is bent on making no one care. But the existence of good in the world makes us care, and caring is what will save us from this corrupt generation. Ours is the generation of a news cycle designed for short attention spans, unashamed public bigotry, and official violence, all played out in real time for all to see. But if that's all we consume, if that's all we're watching, it could easily seem that there's no good in the world. Despair creeps up and in into our souls, shrouding us in apathy. Because the villain is right, without good, who cares? But by some miracle of grace, we do care, don't we? We care so we know good exists. We care so we know evil is not alone in the world. It doesn't have free reign. It hasn't won, and never will. As long as we care, because we care, we know we are saved from our generation's despair and apathy, and the whole world can be too. Every year, Advent asks us to watch, to pay attention to the world closely enough and patiently enough to notice that there's more than evil in it, more than despair. To watch long enough and closely enough to see the good, to welcome its continual arrival among us, to ground our hope in its grace, to name it for others in testimony of word and deed, and to dedicate our lives to enlarging it, even suffering for it, caring deeply and with all our hearts. And Kaji's prayer. Oh, come, O God, with a good I can never ignore. I think his devotion brings up some good thoughts about how we are to live in the world. And it goes back to something I say so many times. You find what you look for. And so look for the good in the world. And I think more importantly, live the good in the world. And yeah, you're going to mess up. You're not going to do the right thing every time, but keep trying and keep looking, and you'll find it. Because our news cycles, the old saying is, if it bleeds, it leads, is so true. Our news cycles really focus on all the negative things going on in the world, and because that's what sells it, so it grabs people's attention. The other thing this devotion made me think of is how many of these quote-unquote reality shows that are out there that just show people being really mean to one another and cheating and fighting and being devious, just being not nice people. And it seems like it's created a norm in our society in which that's the expected way to live, because that's the only way you can get ahead, is to be a jerk and to be horrible to people, to be evil. And that's not the way, and that's not Jesus' way. That's not the way God wants us to live together. I think it's one of the reasons why I love the Great British Baking Show, because even though all those contestants are in competition with one another, they encourage one another and sometimes even help each other with their recipes. It's a different culture. If they brought that to the United States, people would be sabotaging one another's recipes and stuff, it seems like to me. So find what you're looking for. Look for the good and be the good. Is that Gandhi who said, be the change you wish to see in the world? I think that's what Jesus was trying to teach us as well. Be the change that God wishes to see in the world. Hope you have a good day, and I'll try to talk to you again tomorrow.